This is NECN News Now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bridget Blythe.
And I'm Justin Michaels. The wait is over, Red Sox Nation. The season opener is here, and the Sox are facing the Yankees in the Bronx. Pretty exciting. Now, that's where we find Comcast Sportsnet's Jessica Moran, and she joins us with the very latest. Hey, Jessica.
Thanks, Jess.
All right, the Sox are coming off their worst season in decades, but are fans optimistic about this season? For that side of this story, we do go to our very own Greg Wayland. He's live outside Fenway Park in Boston. Greg, how are you? And that leads us to our Voice Your Choice question. So are you going to be going to any Red Sox games, or maybe at least one game this year? Yes, no? Voice your choice at NECN.com. We'll bring you the results tonight on the Only News at 9. It's back to Massachusetts for a man who's been on the Bay State's top 10 most wanted list for decades. Gary Irving signed a waiver of extradition this morning in a Cumberland County courtroom, clearing the way for him to be returned to Norfolk County. Now, Irving, who had been living in Maine under the alias Greg Irving, was arrested at his home on South Street in Gorham last Wednesday night. Police say they identified him by scars on his chest that were left behind following heart surgery. Irving's attorney said it's very hard for him to believe his client is the same man who was convicted of raping 3 girls at knife point back in the 1970s.
I can tell you from my experience in the...
Irving was convicted of 3 rapes in Norfolk County in 1978, but fled before sentencing.
A husband and wife.
It's arraignment day for a Massachusetts woman charged with a deadly crash. 23-year-old Kathleen Allen is charged with drunk driving and motor vehicle homicide. She is being held on $100,000 bail. A prosecutor says Allen admitted to police that she used heroin and alcohol before Saturday morning's crash. 18-year-old Monica DeMello was killed in that crash. Monica DeMello was a freshman culinary arts major at Gordon College. Now, that Christian school is mourning her death today. In a statement, the school's president says, quote, "May the blessed assurance of Monica's place with our risen Savior be a comfort in these coming days."
Richard Engel, Seoul.
Former South African President Nelson Mandela remains hospitalized today, though his condition is improving. Good news there. The 94-year-old Mandela is receiving treatment for pneumonia. Mandela has been hospitalized since Wednesday, and this is his 3rd hospital visit since December. Pope Francis is marking his first Easter Monday as pontiff. He addressed people in St. Peter's Square from the papal apartments, though he is still not officially moved in there. Instead, he's choosing to live for the time being in a guest house where he stayed during the papal conclave. Also today, the Pope is praying at the tomb of St. Peter. Now, St. Peter was the Roman Catholic Church's first pope. Christians believe Jesus Christ chose him to lead the church. And Bridget, a blanket of fog did hover over the Washington, D.C. area this morning. The fog was in fact so thick that part of the Washington Monument was barely visible. You can see it there, kind of floating above the clouds almost. And for more on the weather, Danielle Niles is standing over in front of that map. Danielle, no fog like that here.
No, we had a little bit of fog early this morning, but it burnt off pretty quickly as well. Justin, over to you.
All right, Danielle, thank you very much. Well, it is April Fool's Day, so why wouldn't the White House try to pull off a prank? Its Twitter account told followers to be on the lookout for a special message from the president, of course. And here's what they were treated to.
Looks like you're expecting somebody else. But April Fool's on all y'all. I'm the kid president, and I hope everyone has.
Well, that's not the president, of course. He's cute, though. It's actually Robbie Novak is the kid's name. He plays kid president in a series of very popular YouTube videos. Look at that guy.
Good April Fool's prank. I like that.
That was very good. Well, Novak is just one of the 35,000 people attending the annual Easter egg roll at the White House today.
And that event features a product made right here in New England. Some of the eggs at the Easter egg roll were made by a company in Maine.
The UConn women's basketball team will be looking to return to the Final Four tonight. The Lady Huskies face Kentucky in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Now, UConn has made the Final Four for the last 5 years, and the program has won 7 national titles. Louisville men's basketball player Kevin Ware is recovering in the hospital. Ware broke his leg in yesterday's regional final. Now, we're not going to show you that injury because, to be honest, it's really too disturbing. But his teammates were visibly shaken by this. Ware had successful surgery on his leg overnight, and it's not clear whether he will be able to travel with his teammates to the Final Four in Atlanta. Louisville is the only #1 seed to advance to the Final Four, and the Cardinals will play Wichita State on Saturday night. In the other Final Four game, Michigan will square off against Syracuse. The championship game is next Monday night.
So after taxes, he got $152 million.
Can't even imagine, but that's a wonderful thing that he's doing.
You'd like to imagine that you yourself would be that generous if you got that kind of money, but to actually go forward and do something like that is incredible.
Well, we all have our lists of people we want to take care of, and, you know, charities, of course, and, you know, people have their church and everything. But you're right, it is nice to see him saying, you know what, I wanted to do this. When I had my list, I wanted to give it to this charity, and he's actually doing it. That's a wonderful thing.
Make it happen. Then he can spoil himself, take the trip, buy the car, get the house, and all that stuff later.
I'll tell you what, though, they always say, and I have to agree, the first people you contact, a lawyer and a financial planner, because you will blow through it.
That's right. You want to be responsible with all that money.
Like I have some experience with that. I have no idea what
we
it's
all
like
think
with a
about
lawyer.
it. So there's more news coming up. I'm Bridget Blythe.
And I'm Justin Michaels. You're watching NECN, New England's news station.